Hey, welcome back, one and all, to the TFL podcast. You're here with Rowan and Arch, two yobbos from Australia who just like to talk NFL fantasy football. Yeah, that's us. We welcome one and all. It's great to have you here. We are entering into week 18 of the NFL season. Don't say that often, if ever. First time that we've ever had to say that. Week 18. Here we go. Arch, this is a funny week, and particularly for this pod, we're going to focus in on the Saturday games.
Yes.
The Sunday games will come later, a bit later. But the Saturday games, we've got two. But before we jump into that, let me tell you that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like and subscribe, of course. And, jump on our Discord chat, $2 a month Australian, nothing there. Come on, guys, get on board, and we play Draft Stars here in Australia, and get on it. Welcome to those who are watching.
Just really like that, Rowan. It's so much fun.
It is great fun. I really appreciate it. That is for sure. How you been, Arch?
On the holidays, as teachers, we don't work much. Society tells us. We're overpaid, so we get to spend our money and all our free time that we obviously get. Life's a dream as a teacher. It's great.
Always. Can't wait to find out whether I'm going back to work at normal times or not. That's it. School's always in limbo in COVID land.
Now, college bowl season's sort of wrapped up. Just need the national championship. Got the Maryland shirt. The Pinstripe Bowl champions this year.
Coveted Pinstripe Bowl.
Smoked Virginia Tech. So on the
Hey,
Terps.
Taulia looks pretty good. He's had a good year. Look, Taulia Tagovailoa.
Yeah, look, he's okay, but
he won't make the NFL. I'm saying, but it's fun.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about college. But it's been good. My family glad most of the bowls are finished because there's a lot of me parked on the chair watching football, then rolling that into cricket. Just smashing the Poms at the moment in the Ashes is just beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, Australian cricket is in fine form at the moment, and just watching them smash English players all over the park, it's pretty good. So,
what about you,
anyway,
Ron? Were you up to much?
Yeah, it's holidays. Look, we're just dealing with the families having a fun time, which has been good. Will's a crazy little kid. We got a second one on the way. If you've been listening, you might know that, and that's March 1st. That's due. So
that's bloody soon.
Fun times, everyone.
Getting the second kid, as someone who's had a few, hardest.
Oh,
one
wise
to get.
father that you are.
Going from 1 to 2, that's the hardest move. So you're about to enter hell, Rowan. So good luck.
Appreciate that. Excellent. That's okay. Let's talk about football. I'm done talking about that.
All right.
Let's talk about these two Saturday
I'm just delaying
games.
on the hope that Draft Stars releases pricing for the main slate because they're bloody slackers. They are pathetic with you. I'm sorry, I've held my tongue, but this is ridiculous. Like ever since DraftKings have left the country, Draft Stars are just sitting on their laurels doing bugger all, and we just have to wait till 5 minutes before the slate to get our prices. Sort yourselves out, Draft Stars. Bloody hell.
Feeling loose tonight, aren't you, Arch?
I'm done with them.
You're done.
Simons has a question for us.
Any redrafted dynasty titles for us? You won the Birdie Bowl?
I won the Birdie Bowl.
Well done.
That was very, very pleasing with that one. Dynasty, look, we're tanking with the best of them. So, and
me too. That's right.
And old mate Simons knocked me out of one dynasty semi-final. So he didn't come up trumps in that one in the end. But just one for me.
No, I won one with some of my mates from church, and obviously I went to the DFS final for the Fantasy Football Down Under Invitational, and that was good fun. Unfortunately, missed on really two guys that would have done well for me, and that was Jamar Chase was not in my lineup, and I think that pretty much sunk any chance I had of taking that out. Sadly,
as we said,
T. Higgins instead.
As we said pre-slate, because it was 14 games, so many options.
Yeah.
It was just, we talked about having that fear of missing that slate-breaking player.
Oh, yeah.
And it was
and I
much,
missed
Jason.
him. I missed him. So, anyway, alas, you let that one go. All right, Arch, let's get into these 2 Week 18 Saturday games. Let's go.
Oh, yeah! Week 18! Who's playing, who's not? It's a funny week of football. Yeah!
It is a funny week, and we've got 2 games here which really, I don't know why the NFL chose to put these 2 games on the Saturday, because
Why just 2? Why 2?
I don't know, give us a few. It would be
Give us
nice.
3.
Anyway, we got Kansas City taking on Denver, and you got Dallas taking on Philly. Let's quickly just talk about playoff implications here, because if we look at the AFC, Kansas City are sitting there as the number 2 seed. They have a shot of taking the number 1 seed by winning out against Denver, but they also need Houston to beat Tennessee, which has happened this year.
Yes.
So there is a shot of that happening. So Kansas City will want to win. They're going to come in here because they've got a chance of getting a bye next week. It's improbable, I'll say, but they still want to win. So you're going to look here, and we're expecting the KC players to play a majority of the game. If it's a blowout, then they'll probably rest them. But hey, they have to get to a blowout in the first place.
Exactly.
So
If there's a blowout, there's 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. So
you think so?
They're still worth playing.
Yeah, that's it. Denver obviously are out of the picture entirely, so they have no shot. So interesting to know what will happen here. I almost imagine that we'll get to the running backs in a second, but part of me thinks that they'll just play it safe with Javonte and run Melvin into the ground. The other game,
That'd be the smart thing to do.
you'd think so. The other thing is Dallas taking on Philly. Dallas can't get out of the 4th seed. They have won the NFC East. There is no way out of that. So they're in the 4th seed. They would, I don't know, do they have a shot at the number 3 seed?
From what I'm seeing, they can't move up or down.
No, that's right. So they're kind of set. Potentially, I think if the Rams... No, if the Rams lose, then it means Arizona's up, and that means that, the tiebreakers are going the wrong way for Dallas. So Dallas can't move. Philly could potentially... They're currently in 7th. They could potentially go to 6th. They can't move out of 7th because New Orleans, who are below them, they win the top. They've beaten them this year. So Philly are in the playoffs. They're locked and loaded. So it's a bizarre game to put as the night game because really we aren't looking at anything here that's going to dictate changes to us to this playoff race. So it's really a case of going, okay, in this game, what do we think is going to happen? What's the methodology here in the coaching box to say, all right, we're just going to play our starters for a quarter, give them a bit of game time, and then we'll rest them? Or do we just rest them entirely? Jalen Hurts has been dealing with an ankle injury for a little while as well.
They have players to rest. They're all on COVID, aren't they?
Well, that's right. You've got Boston Scott, Jordan Howard, and Dallas Goedert all on the COVID list at the moment. So it's a bit gross, really. No. So many people for Philly are on the COVID list. On the defensive side as well, like Alex Singleton is a solid linebacker, Rodney McLeod defensive back, Maddox defensive back, Marcus Epps, Fletcher Cox. Like these guys are decent names. Jason Kelsey. So these guys are on the COVID list. They can all be, thanks to the new NFL COVID rules, they could all be put back on the list. But you just have to watch that space. If they're all out though, it makes it pretty easy to choose who's going to be playing for Philly in terms of those really cheap plays. So we'll get to them in a sec. Yep. All right, Arch. If you're on YouTube, everyone, then you can see what we're about to share, which is our little Draft Stars screen here. We're going to go through position by position. We're going to make this not too long because there's still questions in the air, but we'll just give you our short takes here on these 2 games. Quarterback, you've got Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, maybe. I say maybe because I have a feeling that they'll rest him, and Gardner Minshew will step in instead. And then you got Drew Lock, who's really playing for his career. Like, that's the one interesting thing here. He's priced at $9,800, and he's playing for his career. We know he likes to sling, and if they are going to rest Javonte Williams or not playing him as much, because what are they playing for? They want Javonte Williams for next year. They would hate Williams to, have an injury and be out for an extended period of time. So look after your young players, you'd say here. But Drew Lock, they're going to put him out there. Teddy Bridgewater's on IR. So there's something here that maybe I just go, well, what the heck?
I can't do it. Well, what are Denver going to want to do? They want to keep Mahomes off the park. How do they slow the game down? They're going to be running. They're just going to run.
It's true.
And I think they, is it Sigmund Bloom coined, assuming rational coaching. It's so hard to assume that in the NFL, like they're idiots everywhere. Look, they've been a 50-50 split all season. Why this week would they change that?
Just, for the sake of health.
Were they ever a shot at the playoffs like last week or the week before? They're pretty much equal splitting of. Look, and I potentially think they are good plays this week, because I think that's what they're going to lean on the run, and because they'll lean on it so much, they can't just rely on Gordon. I think they'll have both. But
fair enough.
I would like them to be rational here and say what you say, like do what you say here.
Because you have Javonte in your dynasty team.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway, DFS wise, let's bring it back. What quarterbacks are you seriously considering playing here, Arch? It's probably Mahomes number one for me, even though he's priced so high at 17.6. Then it's really hard for me to choose out of the rest.
And that's where I think, in all honesty, I think Drew Lock is the second option here. As horrible as that is, just because I can't why would Dak Prescott, a year removed from a pretty horrible injury, why not give him a rest? Why not give a lot of those offensive key players a rest heading into the playoffs? And Jalen Hurts as well. He's a running quarterback. There's risk for injury here, and so do you take a stab at throwing Minshew in there, even though chances are they might still suit up and they won't be inactive?
Yeah,
it's a really hard one to. You have to really put your nuts on the line here and say, what you think's going to happen. But to me, who are the players that are guaranteed to play a game? I think it's Mahomes and Locke.
Yeah, I think you're right. Those two guys are. Yeah, you can see the snaps there for them to play on. If, however, they do say that they're going to rest Jalen Hurts, then Gardner Minshew wants to keep playing the NFL. He would be my next pick. If we know that Hurts is not going to play, then Gardner Minshew comes in as my clear second favorite quarterback. And I think it'll be interesting then, because I think Mahomes will be chalk. If we come into this game, these two games, not knowing what
70%
kind of snap share, it's like he'll be everywhere. And so then it could be a nice risky play there to go, I think that the Eagles are going to play Minshew for about for 3 quarters here.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that. But you're right. Drew Lock will be on the field the whole game. Dak Prescott, I would be astounded if they do, which then brings in Cooper Rush. So there's options there. Really, this is a wait and see. It's Mahomes for the chalk. It's not going to be bad chalk, I think, necessarily. This is against Denver. Patrick Mahomes could go up big. Really quickly, to be honest, and just kind of secure
Dallas,
it.
Philly could be just a whole big punt fest, really.
It really could. That's very true. All right, let's move on to running backs. You got Zeke at the top at 13.6. Miles Sanders is out. Ignore him. Boston Scott comes in as the lead Philly back at 11.1. Darrell Williams at 10.5. Don't mind that, because Clyde Edwards-Helaire is out. Tony Pollard still got the questionable tag next to his name. He's 8.8. Javonte Williams, 8.8. Melvin Gordon, 8.6. And then you've got the rest on 8K. Who is your favourite play here? Give me a favourite play.
I think it's Darrell Williams for mine. I think it's with CEH out, that 10.5 salary, it's gone up from last week. But again, who's the guy that's going to be out there getting a lot of touches? And Gore wasn't an issue last week. They went in a different direction. So I think it's a D Will show this week. So he's my guy. I think they maybe they should not roll out Zeke for a full game. You'd
think they should.
Rest.
If anyone needs a rest on this, it's him. Who's that?
What's the Q next to Pollard's name on about?
The Q next to Pollard's name is he has been dealing with a foot injury. He was limited in practice this week. He's still questionable, obviously. So, Tony Pollard's an interesting one because if he's kind of not playing, well, then who do they spell Zeke with? And you're looking here at
Edo Smith.
Who's not even... He's still on the practice squad, I think. Oh, no, he's still there. But anyway, like, you're looking at ugly plays then. Jaquan Hardy comes in at 8K. So, I think I'll be avoiding Zeke. I think he's also just priced too high for what the game will bring at 36. You want him to hit 27 points there, and I just can't see that happening. But Darrell Williams and Boston Scott. I really like Boston Scott. Last week he was used a lot. 4 for 39 in the air, 47 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns.
COVID pending, of course.
COVID pending, of course. That's it. So with the Philly backs, with Scott and Jordan Howard both on the COVID list, really that just leaves us with old mate Kenneth Gainwell down right here at the bottom.
What are they doing like that?
Yeah, that's it. But, hey, why not? I mean, if he's the only one there, that's worth playing. Like, what do you got? Jason Huntley? Nah,
they got to roll someone out there, Ron.
They do. And Kenneth Gainwell has had experience, and they have to play the game. That's right. So, yeah, I'm watching Kenneth Gainwell there.
I think what we're really excited about is the fact that all the pre-game time decisions aren't happening at 4:30 in the morning for us this week. For Saturday anyway.
Just 8 a.m. for us here.
Yes.
Sunday morning instead.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad. But I think you're right, Arch. If you want to go for if there's going to be a running game that's going to be consistent, you'd think it would be the Denver running game. Yep. And hitting the right one out of Williams or Gordon could be the difference.
Yeah. And I think what we'll do after we've gone through the position, let's maybe try put a lineup together. I could easily see Darrell Williams and Melvin Gordon pairing at running back.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Wide receiver, a bit more to talk about. I mean, you got Tyreek Hill at 16.9 right at the top. Then you got CeeDee Lamb, Murray Cooper. Are you with me in that you'll be fading those guys, Arch, because of the nature of the game? Yeah,
exactly.
We'll fade that.
Yep.
Sorry, we spoke about the running backs. Corey Clement, of course, will be the backup if Pollard's out. Clement revenge game. Who's a former Eagle. Thanks, Campy, for jumping in there.
What team hasn't he been on, though? Let's be honest.
That's right. I mean, hey, look, he was at the Super Bowl with us.
Yeah.
Anyway, Devonta Smith's here at 11.6. Again, look, here's the reality. The reality is you want to play the KC receivers, and then you have to fill in something.
Yes.
The chalk is Tyreek Hill and Byron Pringle.
Yes.
Then it's, where do I go from there? Do I play Cedric Wilson because he's that he's the number 3, so he'll probably get a bit more playing time. So you think that Wilson probably plays in the game a little bit more. Do you go to someone like a Greg Ward because you think that Philly's receivers are going to be stepping off the field? And Greg Ward, I mean, he's actually done something in the last 2 out of 3 weeks, but caught a touchdown 3 weeks ago, both against Washington, interestingly. But I don't know, like he's a guy that's not going to be on the field. And so there's going to be these 6K guys that are standing out there and getting something. Quez Watkins is probably one of my favorite plays as those cheap wide receivers for that reason. He's the third stringer. Well, arguably second stringer, I suppose. But he's the newer guy, and I think Quez Watkins could be, they just might keep playing him. Yeah,
what do you think about a Tim Patrick if he's activated from the COVID list?
Yeah, look, Tim Patrick is definitely someone to think about. He's sitting there at 7.4. I think he's a reasonable bring-back option if you want to bring back through the air. But the question still remains, what is Drew Lock going to do with this team? Are they going to let him throw or not? And, so...
Such an interesting slate because there's going to be salary left on the table if you are feeling like the high-price guys aren't playing a full game.
Yeah.
Which means I don't see how I could not roll out. I can't see how I wouldn't roll out bloody Tyreek Hill. in every lineup really,
Yeah.
if I can afford him.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we got a nice little little bot comment on us. Vawa Tech. There we go.
Unless that means something else, then someone let us know.
Unless it was a Virginia Tech, which Maryland beat in the Pinstripe Bowl.
Get on the Maryland. All right.
Anyway, thanks, whatever your name is.
Thanks, Merlin. All right.
Love it.
Let's talk tight ends. Travis Kelce's
Should cut that from the pod, really, shouldn't I?
Yeah, that's right. Travis Kelce's the top. 15.6K. That's okay. Like, you know, you're going to pay that for Travis Kelce on this slate. Dalton Schultz comes in at 10.4, which, I mean, it's okay. It's all right. It's fine.
mean, what are they going to do? I mean, someone has to roll out on the field, don't they?
Yeah, someone does.
Why not throw out the tight end?
Yeah. I mean, just make him the wide receiver 1, right, for the team on that week. I mean, he's been pretty solid, though, the last 3 weeks. So
a little 2 tight end type formation.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Like, on these 2-game slates, 2 tight ends can win you things. Dallas Goedert is on the COVID list. So if he's out, let's scroll all the way down here to Tyree Jackson. Now, he's done nothing this year. But, but the other guy...
High praise pre-season, mate. Don't you forget.
No, he did. And that's kind of the point here. Is like,
why not? Give him a rollout. See what he does.
Look, it's $5K. You're losing nothing, aren't you, in that? So I don't mind Tyree Jackson. I'll probably play him in a number of couple of little lineups here. Jack Stoll is the other tight end in Philly, but really he's just there to block more than anything else. So don't depend on him. Noah Fant, though, is an interesting one. Had a big game last week against the Chargers, 6 for 92 and a touchdown. I really like Noah Fant, what he brings to the table. He's seems to be more reliable than the other receivers, at least for what you're paying and for the role that they play. So he's always got a shot in the end zone. So I like Noah Fant there. He's so cheap, even after a big week last week. If, though, you feel, hey, let's play the seconds, even though Denver is just doing nothing, Alberto, can show something as well. So they're there. But let's face it, you're playing Travis Kelce and maybe Tyree Jackson if Dallas Goedert's not in it. That's really it.
That's it.
Defense. Defense, you're going to play, what, Cowboys? Or Philly even?
I'll probably just roll out Philly for the cheapness. Could be anything, couldn't it?
It could be. All right, let's start with that. Let's build a little lineup here.
Yes.
Jump on YouTube if you're not, and we'll put this out. Philly, we'll put them in DST. Does this mean we're going to roll with the Patrick Mahomes, Kelce, Hill?
Yeah, let's throw in the big guys.
Yeah, let's do that. And we still have $9,000 remaining for each of these guys. So if we go to running back here, and we say what we're going to do, which is the onslaught with Williams and Gordon.
I like Gordon.
Yeah, I don't mind Gordon here. They'll probably let him beat up enough. You still got $8,600 for 2 wide receivers and a flex. Now, we can't play Pringle because we've already got the 4 KC players here.
Yeah.
Where do you want to head?
I don't mind a little Cedric.
Cedric's going to play, isn't he? Like, he's not going to be the starter that gets pulled. He's going to be then the key wide receiver when the seconds hit the ground, if they're going to play it that way. So, Cedric Wilson there. Let's find another cheap receiver.
I like you, Greg. Do you want to do your Quez Watkins?
Yeah, look, let's put Quez in. Quez is always in for a shot with a big play as well. So that way you got a bit of correlation there, I suppose. Yeah. Wilson, Quez, Watkins. If it turns into a shootout. What do you think of a Denver
piece in our flex?
The Denver piece that we would go, the most expensive Denver piece that we could put in would be Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
Do we like that? Or would you prefer to jump up to Boston Scott if he plays?
Yeah, I think if he plays, or do you think they give their rookie more of a look in because it's the last game and they want to see what they've got before the off season?
Yeah, possibly. It's an interesting.
So,
anyway.
To me, I think it just becomes a hot mess with them that they will just be a committee. Well, how many touches did Boston Scott get last week?
Draft Stars doesn't give us how many carries, but he got 4 receptions.
Yeah.
47 rushing yards. 2 rushing touchdowns, though, so he had that.
You can't just chase those points, can we?
Nah, that's fair.
That's fair. Look, yeah, what I was otherwise, it's who's active for Denver? I don't mind. I think we're very chalky. I think with our Denver guys.
Agree.
Our KC guys.
Yeah.
Do you roll it? Do you have enough faith in Tim Patrick here?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Is this a place where we can leave salary on the table? Because you're getting. I've still got 5.5K left on the table there.
You could potentially look at your defense again if you wanted to.
That's true.
Could go the KC option. Denver, look, is Denver a bad defense? I don't think they are. They're quite a good defense as well. So
yeah. On a 2-game slate, the defense is almost irrelevant. You don't really need to correlate it too much. Anything
Gardner Minshew rolls out. Do you?
Play Dallas?
What Dallas defense are we getting? Are they going to sit some of their guys?
Yeah, is Trayvon Diggs going to be out there to get the interceptions or not?
What was I reading? There was a tweet about Trayvon Diggs about he's got the most pick sixes, but also he's given up the most touchdowns as well in the league. He's the defense equivalent of Jameis Winston.
He's such a boom bust player. Seriously. Like one play, 100% he'll give up a 40-yard touchdown. The next play, he'll take it back to the house. Like, you just can't tell with that kid. But really, when it comes to playing a fantasy defense, you like that on your defense because that's what you care about. You care about the picks. So, Dallas Cowboys there is not bad, I think.
Yeah.
If you're only playing
I think our big question mark is the Denver bring back. Which one you sort of feel confident with?
Yep.
I don't know.
Anyway, there you go, guys. There's a bit of a lineup. Let me read it out for you. What was that? See?
You going to throw it in?
No. I have to think about this a little bit more. I'll question it. But Mahomes, quarterback, you got Williams and Gordon there, running back. Hill, Cedric Wilson, Quez Watkins, wide receiver. Travis Kelce, of course, and tight end. Tim Patrick is our little flex player there in the Cowboys. What it's showing me is,
because it's so easy to get these KC guys,
so chalky.
It's so chalky, but then is everyone understanding that Dallas-Philly game doesn't matter? Because there's potential that people think, oh, Dak against Philly. Oh, yeah, there'll be points there.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting.
To me, I think it's worth riding the chalk and trying to get different on those little pieces.
Yeah, I feel that. No, happy to go with that.
I think with, say for the $2 mini with a 10 entry max, I probably will throw out 8 Mahomes stacks and 2 maybe Drew Lock one, see where, or maybe 1 Drew Lock and 1 Gardner Minshew and really just live life to the full.
That's right. That's it. Embrace all the variations of that.
What do you think about that, Myrene Petey? Yeah, Voa Tech.
The joys of YouTube comments.
Yes.
Anyway, guys, there we go. That is our 2-game slate for Saturday. Well, our Sunday, Australia.
Thank you.
Doing what it is. Tune in for our next episode.
Next one coming up
real soon, which is our little take on the key stacks that you might want to play in the Week 18 main slate. So stay tuned. So hey, we're going to say it again.
We're back.
We're back. Back again. We're going to quickly talk about for our episode 93.
Yes.
Making our way to the triple digits there, Arch.
Yes.
And we're going to quickly give you a little insight into how we are viewing this main slate, which is...
And just before you keep going, Rowan, just, the way podcasts, episode lists, if this is, you've just clicked play on one of ours, we just recorded one just immediately before this one for the Saturday slate. So
yes,
give that one a listen. It's a pretty short one, less than 30 minutes, and then jump on to this one.
Yeah, do that. 100%.
All right. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you so much. And Arch, we're here on YouTube, so people should be liking and subscribing, of course.
I want more of the thumbs up. I think people have gotten a bit slack on that.
I reckon.
I
reckon.
I've only got 4 YouTube accounts, and so like, once I hit 4, like I need someone else to get me to double digit likes. So I don't think clearly Rowan's not liking our own stuff.
I mean, I try. It's a bit hard to talk great NFL analysis and also like things at the same time.
Oh, yeah, I guess you make a good point. What are we doing, Ron?
All right, we're going to talk about
a nice scotch.
Yeah, that's it. We're going to talk about the main slate, Week 18 main slate. Unfortunately, here in Australia, Draft Stars haven't released their prices, so we can't really talk to you about that. But let's talk about...
I can talk to you about that. How bloody pathetic.
Stop. Go listen to the other podcast if you want to hear Arch rant about that.
How's this guy? There's a guy called Blommy. I think he might be another YouTube bot trying to shout out for winning something called the TFL.
The TFL. Well done, Blommy. You took it out. There you go. Bit of a shout
won
out
for him as well. That's
no, was it?
It was first year in the league.
It was year 2, mate.
Is it?
Yeah, Blommy was the cancel last year. You
that's
seriously
right.
that forgetful?
Sorry, that's how forgettable he was in year 1.
Brutal.
Oh, wait.
The canceller.
Well, there it is. It's still there. He's still got it. Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about our Week 18 stacks. Yeah, well done, Blommy. And, about what really matters is because there's so many games that with 0 playoff implications. So we're going to talk through some of these key matchups that have teams that actually want to win. They actually still want to win this week. So the Stars will most likely be playing. That's right. Because you really don't want to play, let's say, who should I say? I was going to come up with an example there. Well, Joe Burrow, but he's out. He's not going to play this week because he's resting for the playoffs. So you don't want to do that. But Arch, let's just jump into Week 18. Let's do it.
Yeah! Week 18, Main Slate. Save your time. Yeah!
Alrighty.
I forgot that I'd have to do that twice in this stream, so...
Well done. You got there, which is good.
We do it for the people.
So look, we're talking DFS, and we're talking about stacks, because let's be honest, you play DFS, you're going to stack a team, and let's talk, Arch, about the teams that really are actually going to want to play this week and actually win. So, kick us off, Arch. Who's your first team here that you want to talk about that really matters?
It's probably our Buffalo Bills, not ours. They're not ours. The Buffalo Bills versus the Jets. They need a win.
They do. They're fighting with New England, aren't they, for that division title in the AFC East. Yep. So they could be the one. And
currently, the current playoff picture is that they play each other in the wildcard weekend as 4th and 5th seeds. So
that would be something.
That's interesting, isn't it? So they've got something to play for. They want to have that higher seed. It matters. Interestingly enough, though, what's the weather going to be like? Because Josh Allen has struggled a little bit in the poor weather games of late. But I think if things are looking okay weather-wise, I can see Buffalo Onslaught's doing pretty well. So fire up your Allen, fire up your Diggs. Dawson Knox getting nothing last week.
Yeah,
not
that's
a single
amazing.
target, I think.
Yeah, absolute goose egg.
So to me, it's a Diggs locked in really this week.
He still didn't perform that well last week though.
No,
it was those rushing touchdowns that killed his game from Allen. But you like that for Allen, right? It's against the Jets. Yeah, it's against the Jets. Oh, look, we got the bots coming in tonight, don't we?
Is it because I said Virginia Tech? They're all saying this one. The last one was Vawa Tech. Now it's the Arc Tech.
Yeah.
This one's from Merrily Connemingit. That's great. That's great stuff.
Yeah, that's fun. Check out YouTube, everyone. Check out
big
YouTube.
Time now, Ron. We're getting the bots.
Yeah, I love the bots. Anyway, Buffalo, I think, are a great stack this week.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, this is going to be a short episode because...
Oh, yeah, super short. I'm done.
Buffalo, I think you can play all of them. They can hit the number 3 spot. Like we said, it's the Jets' worst defense in the NFL.
They can get even up to the 2 seed if the Chiefs lose, which they're not,
No, they're not.
or the Bengals lose as well, which is interesting enough, though.
But yeah, look, they'll be playing, I think, in the early slate there, so they'll be one of those teams that kind of will be dictating maybe what other people are feeling about.
Yeah. Another bloody bot.
Yeah, another bloody bot. Andrew Campy.
Fly, Camp Tech.
Love it. Love that. That's fantastic. Who's up next? We've got a big game, don't we, between Seattle and Arizona.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Arizona are fighting for potentially the third seed, I believe. Well, depends what the Rams do, because the Rams are playing against San Francisco. This is kind of, we're talking about two different games here that both will be big games. You've got the Rams taking on the 49ers, and then you've got Arizona taking on Seattle. The Rams need to end their losing streak against the San Francisco 49ers if they want to secure the NFC West and the number 2 seed.
Yes.
So that's really important for the Rams. San Francisco, on the other hand, are playing to make the playoffs. So you know that they are going to come out swinging, which means that Trey Lance is going to be heading it up once again. Who knows if George Kittle's going to get involved this time, but a Trey Lance stack is not out of the question.
Yep.
Because I don't know if they're going to be able to win it on the ground alone, as good as Elijah Mitchell has been.
I guess the thing with that, obviously, because draft stars are still just with their hands down their pants, they haven't got the pricing out for Lance yet. They aggressively priced him last week, and it wasn't worth playing, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was like 14-8 last week.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see what they might do this week. Maybe
he put up 20 points, I believe. So
yeah, he didn't
okay.
kill you. I rolled him out in the Birdie Bowl championship, and he did okay. But yeah, would you play him if he's 13K on Draft Stars?
Maybe. I think my line for him, honestly, would be 12.5. Like if he was 12.5K, then I'd be pretty interested, especially because what he can do on the ground. I think on DraftKings he's still 5'8".
Yeah,
back on DraftKings, which if you want to think of that, it's like half the price of Draft Stars. So,
but it was cheap as before, wasn't it?
No, yeah, he was like 4'8". Now he's in the 5s. So I'm looking at this going, I still feel like, he needs to be priced in like the 12s for me to really properly want to play him. If he's at 13, yes, maybe. I'll be one of those guys I sprinkle in just because he's in one of these games that really matter.
Motivated teams who want to win.
Exactly.
But there's depending on obviously your contest selection, there's plenty of other options out there, potentially with better value. Again, we don't know, but we'll find out soon, hopefully tomorrow.
That's right. Arizona, we mentioned before as well. Like they're going to be the number 5 seed at worst, which is currently where they are. If the Rams lose, though, Cardinals win, then LA would drop to number 5, and you'd see the Cardinals jump up into that potentially 2nd or 3rd seed. So Cardinals will really be wanting to play. Seattle's on the other side. Now, they've been out of the playoff picture for weeks, but if this is Russell Wilson's final game in Seattle, hey, let him cook. And this could be a big shootout. They've been scoring a bunch of points in the last few weeks. Their defense has been abysmal. That's why they've been losing.
Wait. What matchup are we talking about here, Ron?
I'm talking about Arizona and Seattle.
All right, cool. Yeah, go on. I thought we were still on San Francisco a second ago.
Well, I moved on because it's all part of the same playoff picture scenario.
Yeah, all right. So you're confusing me. You've melded two in one. Anyway, go on. We'll cut this for editing.
Yeah, of course you will. So look, Kyler Murray's going to be a solid play. He'll probably be priced up though. Seattle's defense has been atrocious. We even saw Detroit do well against them in spots. So I'm looking at the Kyler Murray. I could see a double stack with him working pretty well with a bring back. So I'm looking at Kyler Murray with Christian Kirk and Antoine Wesley. Hello, everybody. Antoine Wesley. Think of that name.
So personally, I'd probably rather go Ertz direction. I think Wesley's a bit too touchdown or bust though. Like it's
What's
been
the
fun.
price? It's the price. If you feel like you need to play a cheap guy, Wesley will be cheap. It's unlikely that they'll push him up above 7K.
Yep.
So if you're looking at whereas Ertz, he was going to be, I imagine he'll be priced like 10, 11K on DraftStars. So
but it sort of
with
knocks
that,
off your tight end dilemma.
well, it does.
Well,
Maybe you go Wesley Ertz double stack and bring it back with a Tyler Lockett or a DK Metcalf. Really, and this is the kind of been the trend, is that if you feel like Tyler Lockett's the chalk or the more popular one, then you go to Metcalf. If Metcalf's the more popular one, then you go to Lockett. So
every time.
Yeah, just go with the one that is seen to be less rostered. Go with that.
Yeah, and if you look at, I think Lockett got over 100 yards last time they met this year. So,
Good pick.
And I think after Metcalf's had a big game last week, and potentially there's issues with his foot, he might be popular and not the best play. So, I'm thinking Lockett's going to be the play this week as the bring back, and hopefully he's cheaper. So, we'll see.
That's it. Arch, do you have another team that you're looking into here?
So do you want? Well, let's go the better one. We'll go the weird and wacky one at the end.
Sure.
Indianapolis Colts versus
Yep.
Jacksonville.
Whew.
Indianapolis need to win. That's as simple as it is.
Bottom line.
They have to win to make the playoffs, and they're playing Jacksonville. Perfect. So who's going to touch the ball a lot, Ron?
Jonathan Taylor.
Absolutely. So
have a guess at what do you think his price is going to be on DraftStars this week? Plus 20?
Well, what was he last? It was 17 last week.
Like 17.8 last week.
That was too cheap. Yeah, look, I would imagine he'd be in the high 18s. That's my guess.
Oh, I think he cracks 19 easy.
You reckon?
Yeah. Well, if he doesn't, I'll be playing him a lot. That's for sure.
Well, to me, he's one of two of the high price guys that are interesting to me that are on these sort of games where they have to win. So JT, that's how they win, isn't it? They hand the ball off to JT or throw it to him, and he'll sort of work out the rest. So
I think last week was the first time all year that Jonathan Taylor's put up 100 rushing yards and the team's lost.
Yeah, that's
every other time, which was a fair number of times. That he's put up 100 rushing yards and they've won. So, look, he's gonna run the ball a heck of a lock.
Yep.
So he is a lock, I think, for me. What's the other one? Is this the one that I'm thinking of? Tennessee?
No, not Tennessee. It's the Saints versus Atlanta of all games. Atlanta have nothing to play for, so who knows what they're going to do? But Saints, they're a shot to make the playoffs. Would you believe it?
If and only if San Francisco lose.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's crazy. How the hell does New Orleans make the playoffs? I feel like Peyton should be just automatically given Coach of the Year if they make playoffs with this injured.
So who needs
team.
to lose? Was it
San Francisco needs to lose?
Yes, and they're playing at the same time.
There you go. So it'll be an interesting screen watch going on between stadiums there. That's for sure. Can you imagine if at like 3/4 time San Francisco's down by 10 points and New Orleans are like within 3 points of winning the game? Man, it's going to be a fun atmosphere down at New Orleans Stadium there. That's for sure. Look, I wouldn't mind if San Francisco lose. I guess Philly get put up to the 6th seed. That's all. Fine by me.
And so with that in mind, I think Kamara's in for a lot of touches. Taysom Hill's potentially, depending on price as well, could be in play.
We know how bad Atlanta's secondary's been.
Yeah,
their whole
Callaway
defense
as well was as an option. Russell Gage is probably my bring back option if you wanted to force a bring back. But I mean, someone has to play on that side of the ball. But again, they've got nothing to play for, so who knows what's going to happen really.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun watch when they're playing at the same time. Are they playing early or late? Did you look at that?
Yeah, they're 4:25, so late.
Yeah, okay. All right, that'll be a fun end. My favourite thing actually about this whole thing, which isn't part of the main slate, is that if Jacksonville win, then the Chargers, who are playing the Raiders, could both get in to the playoffs with a tie. They could essentially just kneel every play. And guess what? The NFL's put them as the Sunday night game.
Oh, beautiful.
It's just, that's hilarious.
Oh, what a fun bloody Sunday night showdown that's going to be. What's our Monday night game this week, Ron?
There is no Monday night game.
Isn't there?
No, that's it. There's no Thursday night or Monday night game in week 18. They're wrapping it all up by their Sunday. Here's the other thing, though. Tennessee, right? They're playing Houston. If Kansas City win and Tennessee lose, then Kansas City take the number 1 seed in the AFC. So if Kansas City win, which we are assuming they will against Denver, Tennessee need to win against Houston to take that and hold on to that bye. Which does my head in that Tennessee. I don't know how Tennessee are even the number 1 seed in the AFC. That in itself astounds me that Vrabel has done that with this team, with Julio Jones being
Is Henry back this week, or is it just playoffs that talk? It was all in the news, wasn't it?
I don't think they'll bring him back this week.
Yeah.
The latest I heard is that he possibly could, but I don't think they will. Yeah. So you got to keep an eye on that. If Derrick Henry's back, then he's a smash against Houston, 100%. Yeah. So, look, the other thing though that this game brings up, and I've said his name 2 weeks in a row now.
Yes.
It's old Davis Mills.
Yeah, old mate.
It's old mate Davis Mills.
He's going to play.
Yeah, he's going to play the whole game. And something in me just, I don't know, loves this underdog story. Is this rookie that was the third option.
There's still no guarantee for next year, so he's going to want to show out.
Yeah, that's right. And he has, on a few times this year, put up multiple touchdown games and decent yardage, and he won that game against the Chargers by putting up 41 points as the team. There's something to be said there. And Davis Mills, I would be astounded if he cracks 11K. He'll probably be in the 10s after being 9-5 last week. But there's something here, I think, that in a game that's going to be, Tennessee should make Houston throw the ball. There is something to be said for a sneaky, cheap, I would imagine, Mills, Cooks, little stack here and bring it back. Yeah. With Deontay Foreman, if Derrick Henry's not playing, then Deontay Foreman, I think, is a great play. There's a bit of a committee there, but Foreman's, I think, clearly has stepped into that one spot. Yeah. And they can probably use him as much as they want, knowing that Henry's coming back into playoffs. So you're looking at that going, Deontay Foreman, revenge game, mind you, against Houston. So, look, if you're going to go contrarian on this, because I think this is the thing, everyone's going to kind of narrow themselves into these NFC games with the Arizona, Seattle, and Rams 49ers. If you want to step away from that and play something a little bit different, this Tennessee-Houston game, I don't know, it just provides something that could actually, I don't know, be sneaky. It'd be different.
I don't mind it.
Free up cash anyway to play the big guys in the other games.
We're talking about Deontay Foreman. Just he's the Cam Akers Truthers poster child, coming back from the Achilles.
That's so true.
Have we talked about the Rams running back situation this week? They didn't suit up Akers last week.
I think they're hesitant to play Akers this week as well. I can't.
So it's still the Sony Michel show. Look, if we go back to that game, I think the way to beat San Francisco with the amount of injuries and COVID stuff going on is through the air. And I think 2 down weeks of Stafford. I think Stafford's. I'm going to go back to the well there. He's burnt me 2 weeks in a row. If he can protect the ball, I think that's a slate winning sort of stack option as well.
Yeah. No, don't mind that at all. Don't mind that at all. Sorry, I was just looking up some stuff around Cam Akers' return. I think it's likely that he comes back. But I don't know how many snaps he's going to take. But Bleacher Report saying Rams running back Cam Akers is expected to play versus the 49ers Sunday for the first time since tearing his Achilles. So,
well, he's had a couple of weeks now of rolling out in the practices, hasn't he? So,
he has. Yes.
You'd hope that he's not too, he's not pushing it too much, so he must be feeling all right. So
yeah, that's it. All right, I think that we kind of covered the main places you want to go.
Yeah.
For that. Anything else you want to add, Arch, before we jump
I think
off?
it's just you got to keep your ear to the news, especially for the main slate. You're gonna start hearing of players not expected to play a full allotment of snaps, and that's you've got to be clued into Twitter this week more than ever if you're gonna put the same amount of action into your DFS. It might be a week you do pull back your action because there's so much uncertainty. But if you put the effort in, maybe there's an edge for you. So it's a weird week 18, and then we can go back to full confidence of who's, of what teams are going to do once the playoffs get started. And as a pod, we're going to keep going through the playoffs and look at all the playoff slates as we go through, aren't we, Rowan?
Yes, we will, 100%. So stay tuned, everyone. Keep your ears to the ground, and may you all have a fantastic week 18, and we'll catch you next time for some playoff football.
Woo! Yeah.
Let's go.